Hello and welcome back, I'm Sean. Today we're checking out a super innovative AI-driven mic from Maono, and to check out all of its features and how well this microphone performs. So let's check it out. So just to keep everything transparent, Maono did send me this microphone here along with a small fee to make this video, but they have no creative influence and I will still share my honest opinion about the product. So let's start off with the differences between the DM40 as well as the DM40 Pro that we have here, and if you're comparing between the two. So the DM40 is targeted more towards casual gamers and beginners, where the Pro model is, as the name suggested, a more pro level streamer or pro gamer kind of use. So the DM40 Pro also offers a more superior and wider frequency response with better mic sensitivity, yielding better audio quality, and we'll also listen to a sound test later on. So build quality on the Pro is also better with more premium construction as compared to the more basic build of the DM40, and you also get better controls as well on the Pro model with better gain and EQ options using a single smart knob at the front as well as some capacitive touch at the top. So there are also other Pro features such as better noise suppression and cancellation, but most critically the Pro comes with a longer battery life, almost double the battery performance of the non-Pro model. So starting with what I like about this mic is definitely the wireless option, and like other microphones from Maono, many of them are wired USB-C options, for example the DM30 right over here, but with the DM40 Pro you get both Type-C options as well as a wireless 2.4 GHz dongle option for you to connect to your device wirelessly. And not only that, I also love that Maono includes a stand that also fits the 2.4 GHz dongle, so you don't have to misplace it, just plug it back in every time you don't need it. So as mentioned, you also get a longer battery life with the Pro model, and Maono rated it to be 75 hours of battery without the RGBs, and with RGB turned on, you're still going to get a 40 hours of use, which is fantastic. It also takes only 2 hours to charge up, and if you want to, you can still use the microphone while charging. However, one thing to note here is that there isn't any battery indicator directly on the mic itself all the time or in the app itself, so there's really no way to have a physical indicator of the mic battery life all the time. The only way you know that the battery is less than 20% is when the LED indicator at the bottom here blinks twice every 30 seconds in orange, so that's when you know you need to start charging it. So you also get different levels of intensity for noise cancellation, which is a very helpful feature. And depending on where you're using the microphone, specifically in a noisy office environment where there are people talking around you, then this would be perfect. And on top of that, you're also going to get very user-friendly controls with the knob that Maono provides you. And you also get a capacitive mute switch at the top here, so it's easy and quickly to go into mute mode. And having a capacitive button instead of a physical clicky button means you won't have clicking sound transferred to the audio capture device when you are trying to mute. And I think the mic also works for both pro gamers as well as for serious business purposes, and since the RGBs can be turned off, so all you gotta do is just click on the button here and you can cycle through all the different colors that you can see here. But most importantly is that you can also turn off the RGBs like that, so it does look like a pretty standard and pro looking mic. Also, you're getting a whole bunch of AI voice changes which we will demonstrate later on, which I think it's a pretty cool option if you're gaming with friends and you want to have a cooler sounding voice rather than just your basic original voice. So I also like the mic comes directly in its shock mount cradle. So this here is actually a shock mount. So you can see that it actually moves like a suspension inside. So this will actually reduce handling and vibration noise. And finally, of course, the great audio performance that you're going to get with this mic, and we're going to take a look at the mic test later on as well. So the DM40 Pro comes in at a price of 399 Malaysian ringgit or about 110 US dollars, and you can find discounts online to get this at an even attractive price. And I think it's pretty well priced for its performance, clarity, as well as features. So if you find value in what you hear and like what you see, do subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so the YouTube algorithm can pick this up. And if you want to buy this microphone, do check out my links below. So microphone quality is fantastic with the DM40 Pro, and you're really going to get pretty good sounding quality with this mic. And what you're hearing now is exactly the raw audio output coming out from the microphone itself, and it's sounding pretty good. And you can see that it's actually recording at the back here. So I also have the Maono app turned on right over here, so we can actually play around with it. Which, speaking of that, you get a lot of controls with the Maono Link app, and it gives you a lot of creative control about how your audio would sound like. So from my test, keeping everything in its original settings sounds really crisp and clear, very similar to how broadcasting microphones would sound like, and it lets you achieve this really high quality and high-end sound. So you also get different levels of noise cancellation, from slight to moderation and to aggressive. And I do have a noisy fan turned on here, and my AC, which is on at the back as well. So which I normally would turn off my fan when I'm filming because it's very noisy. But now I've turned it on, and here you can hear the noise cancellation working very well. But later on, I'm also going to do a dedicated sound test on noise cancellation, so do check that out later on. So there are also different scenes that you can play or change your sound with apart from your original sound. So what I'm going to do now is to change to a few different scenes for you to hear, so you can actually know how it sounds like. So now I'm in the original scene, and what I'm going to do now is to change it to gaming. And you can see, I'm not sure if it's very clear, but you can see that the curve has already changed. Now it's in the gaming curve, and this is how the microphone would sound like in this gaming curve. But now I have it in live mode, and this is how live would sound like. This is the live scene. It basically changes the EQ of the sound quality, and you can just play around with it and makes a lot of difference.
And with AI voice changer, there are a few here that you can use, and I think Maono is making it pretty awesome, and the ability to change your voice in real time is also pretty cool. But with any AI, there will always be processing, so this is great for recording work like what I'm doing now, something that you record into, for example, using Audacity.
So I also tested it in apps like Microsoft Teams. It doesn't do real-time voice change as effectively there, so you're going to hear your voice with quite a latency, and you're going to hear like double of your voice. So just keep in mind not to use this feature when teleconferencing with your boss, but rather you can actually use it for recording purposes like now.
So I'm just going to run through a couple of these AI voices. Now I have it on Paimon, and this is how it will sound like if my voice is in a Paimon sound, I guess. So next I'm going to change it to something more familiar.
And this is, I believe you heard this voice before, and it's basically SpongeBob SquarePants' voice. And if I would say my best friend is Patrick, you wouldn't believe it. So this is how the AI voice would actually sound like, and change my voice accordingly.
I'm going to change to another one, which is Ganyu, and this is how it sounds like if I sound like Ganyu. So at this stage of the AI wave, I guess, and Maono has already integrated such quality of their AI conversion into their microphones. I can only see that it gets better and better from here on. So I can't wait to see what Maono has in store for us in the future, where you can buy many different types of voices and use it which I think is pretty cool.
Alright, so the next test that we're going to do is a noise cancellation test. So what I'm going to do is to turn on a simulated background noise so we can fill up the room and then test the noise cancellation. So now there's a simulated background noise playing in the background, and I haven't turned on noise cancellation yet, so this is how it sounds like. And you can still hear my voice pretty clearly, coming through very nicely. So I'm going to start by turning on the noise cancellation in slide mode. So this is the noise cancellation in slide mode, and there are 3 different levels of noise cancellation that you can use with this microphone. So this is in slide, and let's hear the background noise. I believe you can hear a slight reduction in the background noise, but you should be able to hear me quite clearly. So now I'm going to change it to moderate noise cancellation. So now I'm in moderate noise cancellation, and this is how it sounds like. I believe the background noise is moderately reduced, but you can still hear me pretty clearly, and I think the sound quality is coming through very clearly as well. And the last options that you have here is to turn it to aggressive mode. So here we can change it to aggressive noise cancellation. So now it should be reducing quite significantly. And this is how it sounds like. And lastly, there is also a custom feature that you can tune the specific percentage of noise cancellation that you want, but it's not necessary that you do that. But once you do that, you can also toggle it through the top capacitive touch here so that you can cycle through the different noise cancelling level. So there's also one more noise cancelling capability that we have, which is AI noise cancelling. So now this is in aggressive. So I'll let you hear it again. So this is in aggressive noise cancelling mode. So what I'm going to do now is to turn on the AI noise cancelling. So now I have the AI noise cancelling turned on, and this is how the environment sound like. Pretty quiet, right? So I think this is one cool feature. So it depends on your noise level and how you want your audio to sound like. There are different options for you to choose from. So the mic, in my opinion, is beautiful, especially in this white model that we have. It really is quite a pretty mic. So first thing you'll notice is that this microphone is built in a suspension cradle. So this is to minimize handling noise of your microphone. However, like I've mentioned, if you have any microphone sitting on your desk, any movement, tapping on your table, typing on your keyboard, all of these movements will travel up into your mic, into your recording, regardless of any kind of suspension cradle that you have. So fortunately, Maono gives you the option to unscrew the base and you can get this onto your boom mic stand as quickly as you can, so to eliminate any issue with movement noise. So you can have this, plug it into your boom mic stand, and you're done. So there's also a pop filter built into your mic, so it helps with any popping noises or pronunciation of p, p, p type of sound. At the front here is a large Maono branding as well as the words here. Pretty cool looking, sitting on this silver band here. I think it looks pretty premium. So below that is a large multifunction knob. So if it's in blue like now, this will be controlling your headphones monitor sound, and if it's green, then it's controlling the mic gain. So do note that there isn't any indicator here on the microphone, so you just need to turn and monitor it through your headphones to know what level it is. So below the mic, there are a few buttons and interfaces. So first off is your headphones out, so you can use this to monitor audio coming out from the mic in real time. And next to that, it's a switch to turn on or off your mic monitoring. So above that is your power switch, and also to toggle the RGB, and you can cycle through the different colors or turn it off. And next to that is a USB-C port to charge the batteries of the mic or use it as a wired connection for your microphone recording. And at the top of the mic is also two large capacitive touch mute switch, so you don't have to push on a physical button to mute, and also a touch capacitive AI noise cancelling switch that cycles through the different intensity, which is shown in the LED at the top here. So if it's red like this, it's muted, and if it's green, it's recording audio. And if you press on the noise cancelling, so white is slight noise cancelling, and turquoise here is moderate, and then you have blue, which is aggressive noise cancelling, and you have finally green, which is your custom. So like I say, the Maono Link app is quite interesting and very friendly to use. So at the homepage, you're going to see your microphone, and on the left is a mic level, so you can monitor if your mic is peaking. On the right side, this is where you get your controls. You get your basic controls, your scenes, your AI voice, your lighting. And under basic, Maono actually gives you a built-in recorder, so you don't necessarily need a separate app to record your audio like Audacity. Here you also get your mic gain and headphones volume for when you're monitoring your audio. There's also the noise cancellation capabilities here, so you can choose from 4 different levels of noise cancellation as we've tested earlier. And under the scenes, this is where you can choose your different EQs of your microphone and how you would want the audio to be recorded, and you can also manually adjust it by creating a custom one. So under AI voice, this is where you can adjust and play around with all the different AI voices. Very awesome. But there is also a My Voice store thing up here. It doesn't do anything now when you click it, but I presume in the future you should have a store that you can then purchase more and more voices, which would be awesome. But before using the AI voice feature, you need to click on the AI settings at the top and enable AI voice changer. And if you want to monitor the voice change, click on Hear Self, but you will hear about a 1-second delay, which will confuse you if you're trying to record and monitor. So it's more of a feature for you to hear the effects, then turn it off before you record. And finally, it's your lighting controls, and here you can customize how your microphone RGBs behave, and you can play around with it and customize it. So to be honest, it's a very awesome microphone in my opinion, and it gives you a glimpse into the future of AI application in different types of industry, and in this case, the recording and microphone world. So I think if this is the level of AI that Maono is able to achieve now with their initial product, I can only imagine it getting better and better in the future. Plus, with Maono's heritage in making great sounding high quality mics, this DM40 Pro is definitely worth checking out. So if you want to also check out another review of a Maono microphone, click here to check out the PD100X, or if you want to look at a portable wireless lav mic, click on the Wave T1 Mini right over here, and I'll see you over at those videos.